Oh, this is not a spring chicken. Yes, Mubarak looks like he's going to be stepping down any minute. So I guess Obama is going to get what he wants, but not just like he wanted it. I think that's kind of like life, isn't it? Well, for now, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today. Mrs. Obama, their Super Bowl food indulgence is okay.
Yeah, for the Obamas. I mean, you talk about hypocrisy. This woman basically condemns everybody for doing the things that, well, I will have to cut back on French fries. She didn't say she'd stop, which she wants everybody else to, but I will have to cut back on French fries. Well, they said that everybody in the world knows about that meal. That Super Bowl thing just wiped out everything that she's been trying to do because they were feeding kids, they were feeding...
Oh, they were?
Yeah. Her children aren't allowed. Oh, but these aren't my children. These are senators' children. These are newsmen's children. It's all right for them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I know. And what I was going to say is, do you notice since they've been on this campaign about what you can eat and what's unhealthy for you, have you noticed the spread?
Yeah. They said that she's gaining weight. Well, they said it's obviously not from doing what she's telling people to do.
I know.
Well, they put it this way. They said she's either very pregnant or she's not on the diet she wants this nation to be on. So, but they said that's typical hypocrisy from members of the Democratic Party.
Oh, really?
Do as I tell you, don't do as I do.
White House, new EPA laws will actually increase jobs.
Yeah, they basically they cost 20-some thousand jobs in the Gulf area, thousands of jobs in Alaska, and tens of thousands of jobs across the United States. But they said, well, you have to understand, they won't increase jobs right now. When, eventually they will increase jobs, but then they don't increase because they can tell you Spain went busted because of green. Germany went almost busted because of green. They can't go green because they can't get the infrastructure. That infrastructure was built when there weren't the union strength as there is today. You can't build infrastructure with the union problems and the Sierra Club in this country, so it's not possible.
IRS reduces penalties for international tax evaders.
Not really, because Obama's plan is to basically penalize any company for doing business out of this country. They consider you to be a tax evader if you're doing business out of this country, that you're doing business out of this country to avoid paying taxes. So they laughed at that little thing too, that they're softer on it. Because they're so pro-business that they're not going after them. That's why his budget has all kinds of legislation to stomp all over them.
Strikes in Egypt add to pressure from protests.
Well, okay, what are you striking at? Nothing is in operation in Egypt, so what are you striking about?
Mm-hmm.
And then they said, it's just sort of, I find it totally ridiculous. They're not working. I mean, we're going to hold a strike and shut down the beer factory. Yeah, we haven't worked in 2 weeks. We're going to hold a strike, but you haven't worked in 2 weeks. We're going to strike anyway. No, I can tell you that. My father, when he came back after World War II, was supposed to go to work at a shipyards. Because my father, basically being in the entertainment business means you gotta have another job. So my father was an engineer, and he was an automotive engineer and electrical engineer. So it's a good place. You know engines, electrical. The first day he showed up, they decided to strike.
Are you serious?
They said, yes, but you people aren't working. You're back. This is the first day. Well, we want higher wages. And my father, he got that dumb look. My father, he said, but you haven't even started a job. We want higher wages. Yeah, but they're already being paid like 10 times more than what you did. We want higher wages. They hadn't even started to work yet, and they struck. The guy shut the business down and moved out of the West Coast because of that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. We want higher wages. They hadn't even started to work. All these servicemen returning the first day after they got out, they come back to go to their jobs, which they guaranteed. The owner guaranteed them all their jobs. We want higher. Well, the wages were now 10 times higher than what they were when they left before the war. Mm-hmm. And they wanted higher wages because they unionized. They unionized the night before they came back to go to work. Brilliant union mark thing, wasn't it? That's why you don't see ships being built on the West Coast anymore.
photos. New York Representative Lee resigns after shirtless photo controversy.
Well, I love that. I was listening last night. Was it an actor, one of these news commentators? She said, you know, he looked pretty good for a 46-year-old, but God, he looked like hell for 39. So, you know, took his shirt off. The problem was, he said those pictures were never sent to anybody. Somebody hacked his computer and then took them off of his computer. But then they're saying they're trying to figure out what else was on that computer that he basically wanted to kill. Because it couldn't have been anything else, because he said they were never sent.
Well, yeah, but so what's the big deal about him being shirtless?
Well, they think there was more than just being shirtless that they grabbed off the computer.
That would be my guess.
But still, you have to understand, they hacked a congressman's computer.
Isn't that
in a congressional building.
That sounds like a serious...
That is a criminal offense.
Yeah.
So, but they got rid of the congressman. He's one of the big shots in Ways and Means, and 4 hours later he's gone. But since it's a Republican district in New York, they're not going to lose the seat, so.
Somebody setting him up for something? Something sounds fishy.
They figure something else was on that computer, and he wanted to be gone before that came out.
Yeah.
He just basically...
I think somebody blackmailed him.
Well, they told him they were going to release the pictures. That basically you can figure, can a big D, you know, well, because there is still a congressional hearing on Waters out here. Oh. And the Republicans are in charge now, and they don't give a damn that she's black. Those days are over. Obama ruined it for everybody running for election now. They're not going to care what color you are. They're just simply going to go after you now.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, we're not, yeah. Junk food diet linked to lower IQ, a long-term study finds.
Okay. I thought they considered Obama to be extremely smart.
What?
I thought they considered the President Clinton to be extremely smart. I thought they considered Hillary Clinton to be extremely smart. I thought that Mickey Rooney is considered one of the brightest actors. I mean, you want to name the people that eat nothing but junk food if they can get their hands on it? That how many presidents of the United States that are listed as brilliant love junk food? That's basically, once again, Michelle Obama is putting a thing out to try, you know, your kids are going to be stupid if you eat junk food. Yeah, but...
They're also taller.
You're not stupid. Then they say, well, I'm a president's wife. That shows you how stupid I am. Well, see, but you won't hear them saying that. You know, that's why I got flip-flop Obama. I don't have a Michelle Obama one yet, so.
Mobster who vanished in 1994 captured in rural Idaho.
That's got to be the most asinine thing. I mean, first of all, I can guarantee you, people tell me that they recognize me from the things I was doing in the 50s and 60s. I don't look the same. I can guarantee I don't look the same. But this guy basically did not look anything. He's old. He was an old man then. He looks old now. And somebody recognized him from a picture? It's impossible.
Well, and it's not like he's on TV all the time.
No, I mean, they saw a picture of him 17 years later and arrested him. I mean, he doesn't look... He looked like...
Isn't there a statute of limitations?
Okay, he looked like Abe Vigoda. I mean, he didn't look like that earlier, but he looked like he looked, you know, old and worn out. And they arrested him from a picture.
Study finds a jump in immigration prosecutions.
This is one of the biggest BS's in the... Janet Napolitano, in front of the Republicans, she said the word terrorist 50 times yesterday. Ooh. She said Islamic terrorist many times yesterday, and also pointed out how under Obama, prosecutions for illegal immigrants are at an all-time high, and they're trying to figure out where. You know, trying to find where these people are.
Once wildly popular Guitar Hero video game gets the axe.
I thought... I mean, aren't they pushing Guitar Hero over at Best Buy? And I mean,
oh, maybe it was Rockstar.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen them. Everybody's pushing Guitar Hero. They said what happened was, it really isn't compatible with 3D. It's old animation.
Oh, I see. So they're going to update it, and they'll call it something else.
Call it something
but they're not going to call it Guitar Hero anymore.
No, because it's just like
Guitar Hero 3D.
The Fantastic Four is now the Fantastic Future. They got rid of the Human Torch, which basically means in about a year he'll be back again. But they decided to cease publication of the Fantastic Four, killed the magazine, and come back with Spider-Man now as part of the Fantastic Future.
What?
Yeah. Okay, remember, Disney now runs the company. Disney now runs the company. Disney now runs the company. And Stan Lee hates Disney, and the other person hates Disney. So
oh, they're destroying the superheroes.
I assume the destruction of the superheroes was done because Disney owns the company. Disney owns the company.
And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Okay, if you're a journalist and the best you can do in an interview is to protect your rear end, you're not a journalist.